Hello everyone! It's great to have a walk with you again through streets of New York. Today as we walk through Wall Street and Battery Park, I'll talk about a very special book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, Charlie Mackesy. On the surface, it looks like a children's picture book, but in reality, it is a book about growing up. A kind of soft, slow growth infused with mindfulness and acceptance. The book is a collection of monochrome drawings and very short lines of dialogue, yet the emotional weight is enough to linger long after we close it. Charlie Mackesy does not build a story with climaxes, conflicts, or villains. It is precisely this calmness that makes us realize sometimes what we need is not a book that solves problems, but a book that allows us to breathe. A simple story opening the door to the complex inner world of adults. The book begins with a very simple confession. I'm lost. It's only 2 words, but for adults, it is one of the hardest things to say. We usually try to present ourselves as people who know the way, know the direction, know the future. Mackesy lets a little boy say it for all of us. Brief, honest, and healing. The story does not strain to become something grand. It moves forward step by step, as light as breathing. Each page is a small conversation, a question, a thought. The amount of text is so minimal that it borders on complete simplicity. And it is this simplicity that creates the white space for the reader's mind to reflect. As we slowly turn each page, we don't just meet the boy's story, we encounter our own feelings of being lost, fragile, and our deep need to be loved that we always carry with us. The simpler the book, the easier it reaches the deepest layers of the soul. And often, adults are the ones who need that simplicity the most. 4 characters, 4 inner parts of ourselves. The characters in the book are not divided along the lines of good-evil or strong-weak, nor do they follow any familiar symbolic system. They are images of the inner parts of us that we often ignore or refuse to listen to. The boy is our innocence, our longing for connection, the part that always has many questions but rarely dares to speak them out loud. The mole is our soft, clumsy part, always wanting to be accepted even when imperfect. The fox is the old wound, painful memories that make us withdraw, stay on guard, and keep quiet. The horse is our quiet wisdom, the part that knows how to observe, how to pause, how to remain in the present moment. When the 4 characters walk together, they are not just traveling companions, they are a symbol of inner harmony. Life can be very heavy, but if the parts within us stop fighting each other, if we can love the weak parts, hold the painful parts, cherish the childlike parts, and listen to the wise parts, we become more whole. On a page full of white space, the mole says, if you can't be kind to yourself, how can you be kind to others? A gentle line, yet powerful enough to shake the harshness we usually impose on ourselves. The main message is, kindness is not perfection, it is presence. In an era where everyone chases goals, achievements, and invisible ladders, this book brings a counter-message. You do not have to be perfect to be worthy of love. You only need to be present, truly present. One of the most striking passages is when the boy asks the horse, "What is the bravest thing you've ever said?" The horse answers, "Help." To say help, to admit that we are not strong, requires a kind of courage that goes beyond ordinary victories. The book seems to say that kindness does not lie in trying to become a hero, but in daring to be truthful, daring to love, to trust, and to ask for help when needed. Above all, kindness is staying with one another even when everything in life feels fragile. Meditation through images, the space that speaks louder than words. Mackesy does not rely on words alone. He uses images as a form of meditation. The rough lines, the tiny figures in the middle of large blank pages, create a strangely soothing feeling. The empty space forces the reader to slow down, breathe, and open up. There are pages with just one sentence and the rest is white. Yet that very white space says more than the words do. The stillness he creates is not neglect, but a kind of support. It's like when we sit in meditation. The mind is not busy, not analyzing, just present. In that state of presence, the most delicate things become clear. This is why the book stands out. It is not only something to read, but an experience to feel. The journey home, in fact, the journey back to oneself. Near the end, the boy asks, "Do you think we've arrived?" The horse replies, "Home is not always a place." This is one of the most subtle and beautiful closing lines. Home is not always a physical location, a roof, or a familiar setting. Home is when we feel safe with ourselves, when we can accept our wounds, love our innocence, understand our silence, and honor our wisdom. The boy finds home not because he sets foot in a particular place, but because he has become more complete within his own soul. Why is this a good book in the deepest sense of the word? This book is not good because it contains lofty philosophical theories, but because it helps the reader listen to themselves again. It makes us pause just when we are running too fast. It heals without preaching or lecturing. It is gentle, yet touches the deepest fatigue inside us. It makes even those who seem strongest exhale and then smile. Most of all, it is good because anyone can find themselves in one of its characters. Those who have been hurt see themselves in the fox. The fragile see themselves in the mole. The questioning in the boy. And those learning to be at peace see themselves in the horse. A humane ending. In the end, the book does not promise that everything will be fine, nor does it claim we will never get lost again. It simply shows us that we do not have to walk alone. The boy's journey does not end with a victory, but with an opening of the heart, not with battles, conflicts, or miracles, but with gentleness in every line, every shared moment. That is precisely what people in this era lack the most. A small book, yet it can be a warm blanket for cold days of the soul. A book with few words, yet it speaks out what we have kept hidden for so long. A short book, yet with a very long aftertaste. And as the horse says, the truth is, everyone is winging it. Everyone is fumbling. Everyone is trying. And the mere fact that we keep taking one more step forward is already something miraculous.